this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine
matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Or as we say in camp, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So great to see everyone. It's not only Shabbat, it is not only the celebration of 3 young people becoming bar and bat mitzvah. It's not only a community time for us to be together, it's also our annual celebration of Jewish camping. I am wearing my Camp Harlem hat, my Camp Road of Shalom t-shirt right up there on my seat, and a lot of you are wearing you're wearing a Camp Road of Shalom shirt too. It is Shabbat, but it is also a time for us to raise up a joyful piece of American Jewish life, which is summer camps. So in addition to celebrating Shabbat, we also are going to bring in the spirit of camp. So I hope you're ready for some energy. All right. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. And to start us off, also, I forgot to say one of the most important things. In addition to all those welcomes that we have, our B'nai Mitzvah, our camp families, we're also welcoming back a legend at Temple Road of Shalom, a former director of our camp, a leader in the Reform movement, a person whose bar mitzvah I officiated at. Welcome, Jay Rappaport. All right, Jay. Those of you we're going to get to know Jay a little better later, but Jay and his family have been members of Temple Road of Shalom for 1,000,000 years, and Jay and I grew up together in many ways. I was at your bar mitzvah, yes. You joined me on my first teen trip to Israel.
Mine too.
Yours too, right? You're not on. We share our alumni allegiance to the Hebrew Union College. You are a Jewish educator, and now the director of the URJ Creative Arts Camp. Bring it on. That's right. That's right. We are so proud of Jay Rappaport. I could cry, but I'll hold back. All right. Thank you, Jay, for bringing us music. He's also a very acclaimed musician, and he's leading us in music as well as camp feelings today. So, but in the spirit of music, in the spirit of Jay, in the spirit of those of you who have not yet met our student cantor, Carly Levin-Santalone, we welcome you 1,000 times again, and we're so glad you're with us on this Shabbat.
Thank you.
So over to you for some more music.
Yes, please join me in the words that we were just singing, Hine Matov, how wonderful it is that we're here together in this space today. Ready?
We're singing again.
We're singing it again.
All right, bring it on.
Hine Matov.
You're warmed up now.
Umanayim
Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. As we make our way to the Bima and get ready to begin our service in earnest, we invite you to take a moment to just say hi to people around you, wish people around you Shabbat Shalom, build a little community, get to know one another, spend a little time together.
Stepping all over the speech. It's okay. It's okay.
All right, I guess I should get going. Are we good, everybody? All right.
What a crew up here.
I know, it's awesome. Okay, what do I need? I need this. Dara, leave them open. Open through L'Chadodi. What a warm and welcoming community you all are. You're getting connected to old friends and meeting new ones, which is wonderful. In addition to all this celebration, we also, as I said earlier, are celebrating 3 young people who become bar and bat mitzvah on this Shabbat. It's a wonderful, joyful weekend for them and their families. We welcome their family members who are visiting. And in honor of this special day, I'd like to invite some of the parents to lead us in the candle lighting. In your prayer book, the candle lighting is on page 2 and 3. And I'd like to invite Juniper's mom, Karen, and Max's dad, Todd, and Sam's mom, Emily, to come up and lead us in candle lighting. Again, we're on page 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which we to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner shel
I don't think there's anything better than a... Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's simple? Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's so much better. I don't know if there's anything better than this room packed on a Friday night. It's pretty wonderful to see you all. And the great thing about our tradition is that anytime we're all together, we have to say, wow, it is so great to be together. Let's say it in English and in Hebrew because we're just feeling the love. So here's a song that will do that for us tonight. A little one that I wrote called We Are Together. Try this. We are together.
We are together.
It's so nice to be together.
It's so nice to be together.
'Cause when we are together,
'Cause when we are together,
it's so good.
It's
so good.
Putting that together. We are together. It's so nice to be together. Try that.
We are together. It's so nice to be together.
'Cause when we are together, it's so good. 'Cause when
we are together, it's so good.
all together now.
We are together. It's so nice to be together.
'Cause when we are together, it's so good. Everybody sing now.
We are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together,
It's so. All right, now you're singing. You ready? We
are together.
It's so.
Nice to be together.
'Cause when
Are together.
it's so.
So good.
Wow, you sound so good. All right, part 2, we're going to take it to the Hebrew now. If you like to move your body, take a finger, throw it in the air, because we're going to sing a high note like this. Hine matov,
Hine matov.
hine matov u'manayim,
Hine matov u'manayim.
shevet achim,
Shevet achim.
shevet achim gam yachad.
Shevet achim gam yachad.
It's the same thing we just sang in English, but now in Hebrew. Hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Try that. Hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Next part is shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. All the Hebrew. Hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. One more time. Hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. Ready? You're gonna sing it. Hine. You sound great. Shevet achim gam yachad. Part 3 goes like this. It's an arm swayer like this. You didn't know you were working out tonight. Matov. Keep it going. Watch my head. I clap my hands. I move my soul. You have excellent rhythm. I clap my hands. I clap my hands. I move my soul. I move my soul. We are together. Here we go. Now we are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together, it's so good. You sing it.
We are together.
It's so nice.
To be together.
'Cause when we
Are together.
it's so good. Hine matov, hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. Show off your Hebrew. Hine matov, hine
matov u'manayim.
shevet achim, shevet achim. All right, sway with me. Keep it going. I clap my hands.
I move my soul. I clap my hands. I move my soul.
Move my soul.
We are together one last time now. We are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together, it's so. Here you go. Ready?
We are together.
It's so
nice to be together.
'Cause when
we are together,
it's so
good.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
That was so wonderful, welcoming Shabbat in the camp style, not only with Jay, but our camp song leader and musical educator, Jason Flatt, here with, and also Megan O'Brien. It's on the Beam, our camp director. We're a full team. We also welcome Shabbat in the traditional way that our congregation does with the singing of Lecha Dodi. On this Shabbat, Lecha Dodi, which is on page 20, we'll sing verses 1, 2, and 9. And as is our custom, when we get to the last verse of Lecha Dodi, we'll stand, we'll face the opening, and we'll welcome the spirit of Shabbat. Please, when you get to that point, join us at verse 9 in rising and stay standing through the Baruch Hu. But join us now on page 20 in Lecha Dodi.
This is maybe my favorite melody I think of when I think about camp. A lot of us know, we sing it at Rodef Shalom often, but I want to make sure we all know the one part that comes over and over. It goes, Let's just do that together really fast. It comes with the word nekabela at the end of the chorus. So nekabela. Let's do it again. Nekabela. Lecha Dodi. Lekrat kala. Shabbat tichla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please rise.
Boi v'shalom ateret mala gam v'simcha u'tzola toch emunei am sigula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala Dodi, Mikrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Having welcomed Shabbat in song and welcomed one another, we turn now to the more formal part of our service. Maybe we all need to take a real deep breath and sort of land here in this space as we prepare to join together in the call to worship the Baruch Hu. It is on page 28. Won't you join us? On page 30, a prayer that appreciates the beauty of evening, and even though it is so cold outside, it is also so beautiful. So won't you join me in the Hebrew of Ma'ariv Haravim? We read together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim Bechochma Poteach She'arim Uvidvuna Mishanei Itim Umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem birakia kirtzono. Bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei hoshech, v'hoshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, uma'avdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. And when we're outside in nature on an evening like tonight, we feel the oneness of the world. We feel a connection to each other and a connection to the beauty of what God has created. And that oneness leads us to sing Shema, which is on page 34, a statement, a proclamation of oneness of humanity and God together.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam
Won't you please be seated and join us in chanting Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Bayom Adavacha Vishinantam Vivanecha Vidivarta Baham Vishivtecha Vivetacha Uvleftecha Vadarech Uvshochbecha Uvakumecha Ukshartam Leot Aliadecha Vehayu Letotafot Bin Einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kiroshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem
אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. I think the V'ahavta is one of Camp's most favorite prayers. We sing it in so many different ways, and tonight we chanted it. And the V'ahavta reminds us how we live our lives connected to God all the time, not only on Shabbat, right? But Tuesday at 10, Thursday at 8 p.m. And when we're able to think about our Judaism and our God when we lie down and when we rise up, the idea is we might make the world a better place. And if we make the world a better place, we might get to something that our tradition calls redemption. When things get better, when people who are enslaved go free. And after we're reminded to practice Judaism every day, we sing a song that tells us what's it all about. It's about redemption. So let us sing a song of redemption, another camp favorite and Rosh Shalom favorite, Mi Chamocha. It's on page 40. Come the dancers.
חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
And we turn now to Vishamru, a song of Shabbat. It's on page 44. Camp doesn't usually get to sing this song because they're not usually together in the evening of Shabbat. But let us all join together in Vishamru. Thanks, Jason and Jay and Carly. Thank you.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat le'toratam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat le'toratam berit olam. Beinu v'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat le'toratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית olam. We begin the tefillah section of our service on page 46. Please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, ומביא גאולה לפני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך מקמית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, ודחושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You can be seated. Please join me at the top of page 55 in the English prayer. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Please take a moment now for a personal reflection, and we'll come back together with a prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom. Page 62. יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. ואמרו
Having shared in that joyful song of shalom, we take a moment to think about those people in the circle of this congregation, perhaps in the circle of your family and friends, who need a little more shalom in their lives, people who are struggling perhaps with illness, physical or emotional, perhaps spiritual. And it's our custom to pause at this moment in the service and in the spirit of thinking about wholeness, shalom, and peace, shalom, to offer a prayer for them. And so we say, Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivcha Rachel v'Leah hu yivarech v'irapeh et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including Alon ben Barbara, Fruma Hana, Batz, Chinda Yetzel, Yisrael Pavel, Seth Lukash, Margie Reisenberg Goldstein, Hugh Rips, Eddie Stein, Judy Valio, and names that you would like to speak aloud as we share in this prayer for healing. We begin on this side of the room. Thank you. Thank you. Did I miss anyone in the back? We indeed think of all those people who are suffering and at risk from the fires in California. We also pray for those who have been victims of violence in this country and around the world, and those who in service to our country are in need of emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. May the Holy One be filled with compassion and cause their health to be restored and their strength revived. And may they be granted a complete healing of mind, body, and spirit. And we sing Misha Berach together, not in your program tonight, but I think you know it. It's in the book, but I think everybody knows it. We're going to sing
It's on page 253.
All right.
If you would like to turn to it. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I am, and I know we all are so excited to have here on the Bima, Jay Rappaport, who goes all the way back to my very first year at Temple Road of Shalom. We met in 1990. You were 13, right? You were bar mitzvah in my very first year here at Temple Road of Shalom. Excuse me. And Jay's journey has been an amazing one with every Jewish professional dreams about. Not only did he become bar mitzvah, not only did he go to Israel, not only was he our camp director, and not only did I get to do his wedding, not only did he study to become a Jewish educator, not only did he serve a wonderful congregation in Chicago as their director of education, he's now the director of the Reform Movement's Creative Arts Camp. Now, all of you who know Jay know he's incredibly creative, yes? And he's incredibly artistic. And I want to remind you, he's ours. Over to you, Jay. I don't need that.
Not anymore. Thank you, Rabbi Schwartzman. It's so wonderful to be here with you all. I want to say hello to my colleague Sam from Camp Harlem, who's over there. I see you. Glad you're here too. So wonderful to be here with the Camp Road of Shalom team. Really excited about that and seeing these leaders from Camp Road of Shalom, many of whom were my campers. That's probably the coolest thing of all. My personal Jewish camp story is really the story of my life. It began right here, as many of you know. I was a CIT at Camp Road of Shalom back in 1991, shortly after we first met. I can't say I was an exemplary first-time employee, but I did mix a quality cooler of lemonade several times a day, which was one of my primary tasks. And I still feel bad about the time I forgot to tell my co-CIT, Rafi Berkson, that the van for the zoo field trip was leaving while he was filling the second cooler of lemonade, and we left him behind. It was one of the worst things I ever accidentally did. Little did I know that this is the first of 17 summers I would spend on staff here, really close to a nice Jewish number. My mom, who's sitting right here in the middle of the room, hi Mom, really wanted me to go to Camp Harlem, but I was resistant to the idea of overnight Jewish camping. So instead, I attended what people lovingly call Camp with Jews. Several camps with Jews. These camps had so many Jews that they even had Shabbat services. My first camp girlfriend's actually a future cantor. Ultimately, I married a Harlem girl that I met in New York City, so it all worked out for the best. In high school, I applied to return to Camp Rodef as a junior counselor, only to be offered an even better opportunity by Julie Pajoli, the new director, and by the way, she's the founding Rabbi Berkowitz's daughter. She offered me the job of camp song leader when I was 15. I wasn't sure I was ready for it, but I was really excited for the opportunity, and I set up my keyboard in our youth lounge because singing is much more appealing with air conditioning. That was the early secret to my success. Know your audience. As I searched for new music to bring to camp every summer, I ran through Jewish music songbooks by Debbie Friedman, whose yahrzeit we just observed earlier this week, and Jeffrey Klepper, as well as drawing on my love of Broadway, folk music, and popular music, and I particularly loved finding secular music to use in a spiritual context. You might remember this one. Oh, chariot, your golden waves are walking down upon this face. Oh, chariot, I'm singing out loud to guide me. Give me your strength. When we used to sing this at camp, people would literally take off a shoe and wave it in the air. That's how weird camp is and how wonderful it is.
That has not changed.
I'm glad to hear that has not changed. Most important aspect of my legacy there could be. The next director of Camp Road of Shalom, Karen Simpson, became my mentor as I continued song leading and working my way up to assistant director during college. I succeeded her as director for a decade, from 2002 to 2011, commuting on Acela trains for monthly camp committee meetings after I moved to New York in 2005. While in New York, as Rabbi Schwartzman told you, I attended Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion to earn my master's degree in religious education on a campus that I first visited with her on our TRS confirmation trip. She actually got me to visit 3 of the 4 campuses of HUC: in Jerusalem during the first TRS teen trip to Israel, which you mentioned, in Cincinnati, should I say of blessed memory, but it's still, yeah, after you recommended me for a teen leadership retreat weekend. I hope you're seeing the theme of how one person can influence another's life. At this point in the story, I have to acknowledge the profound influence Rabbi Schwartzman has had on my life. As she told you, she did my bar mitzvah, one of her first at TRS. She did my wedding. During my time as TRS camp director, she told me this. I don't know if you remember. You know? You don't know.
No, I don't know.
The URJ is going to open up an arts camp in the Mid-Atlantic region someday. Do you remember this?
I don't. Yes, I do.
And you should be the director, is what you told me. She is one of those incredible people who can speak things into being. The same year I moved to New York, I attended my first Havana Shira Jewish song leading conference at URJ Camp Asrui in Wisconsin. This experience allowed me to build on my years of song leading here, and it sparked the composition of my first Jewish music. Here's a little bit of that. Repeat after me. There's a blessing that we place on our doorposts and on our gates. Speak these words when we rise, when we lay down, and close our eyes. This is a little bit of Ve'ahavta, which you said earlier is kind of a fun one at camp. Well, here it is. B'chol levavcha, b'chol levavcha. It means with all your heart, with all your heart. After graduating from HUC in 2014, my wife and I moved with our 2-year-old daughter, who is becoming a bat mitzvah this May, if you can believe it. We moved to Chicago, where I became the director of lifelong learning at Temple Sholem of Chicago, a 150-year-old congregation on the north side of the city, not far from Wrigley Field. In reviewing my contract, I noticed that I was expected to spend 2 weeks on faculty each summer at URJ Camp Asrui. So for 7 summers as an adult, I finally got to have the URJ camp experience. And indeed, I made the kind of lifelong friends that everybody talks about. We call each other our camp family. And then 2 years ago, only Rabbi Schwartzman could have predicted what happened next for me. I got offered the dream job becoming a URJ camp director at 6 Points Creative Arts Academy. And now I get to travel the country talking and sharing about the power of Jewish camping, and that's what brings me home tonight. There are a few things about my story that are pretty essential to the magic of Jewish camping. Number 1, an adult sees potential in a young person and tells them and gives them opportunities to grow and learn. Definitely a theme in my story and the wonderful leaders here at Rodef. This happens between counselors and campers, visiting faculty and staff, and as I've shared, it even continues beyond camp as our whole Reformed Jewish community is connected by our camps and by Nifty. Imagine traveling the country and knowing someone Jewish everywhere you go. There's a song about that too. My everyday life is one big game of Jewish geography, and because of these widespread connections, camp culture often shapes Jewish communal culture as traditions formed at our camps spread to our congregations, often through music like Jason shared with us tonight. Number 2, you can find your people. There are shared experiences, attitudes, and values within our community that come to life in a unique way in the immersive environment of camp. You don't realize how much you have in common and how good it feels not to be alone or unique in your Jewishness, your Judaism, until you are in a space where it is the very essence of the gathering. You don't have to say, it's because I'm Jewish. You can just be Jewish because everyone else is too. As American Jews, it's an unusual feeling to be the majority instead of the minority, and it can broaden your life perspective to experience Judaism in its own context, not just as being different or the other. Number 3, you can combine your passions and interests with your Judaism in a powerful way. And this is at the heart of URJ specialty camps like mine, Creative Arts, as well as our sports camp. Hello to my sports camp people over there in North Carolina, and our SciTech camp outside of Boston. My arts camp is outside of Philadelphia. So they're all not too far away. Many of the staff and parents of our campers say, I wish this had existed when I was a kid, because we recognize the power of doing things you love with the others who love them in the unique space of Jewish camp. Once you've experienced Jewish camp, it impacts your personal Judaism for the rest of your life in so many beautiful ways. And it's this kind of magic that brings me back to my childhood bima tonight, almost 35 years after I became a bar mitzvah in this very room. One addition to my story that's really special to me, this spring I received a note from a former camper here at Rodef. He's in the room, which is kind of exciting. Hi, Jay, hope you're well. I'm just letting you know that I made my way all the way to the leadership team, and now I'm one of the supervisors for 2nd to 4th grades. Thanks so much for your time at Rodef and inspiring kids like me every day. Where's Zach? Where's Zach Steinbaum? Are you in the room? Not in the room. Sibling represents. That's okay. And Boo's your own sibling. Wonderful. Well, I got to see him earlier, which was really, really wonderful. He was here tonight. We got to hang out and catch up, talk about magic. So, what are you waiting for? If you haven't been to Camp Rodef Shalom, sign up now. I hear space is limited. I used to say it was for preschool to grad school, and I wasn't the only one who spent more than a decade there. Hi, Sharon. Love you. I'm so proud to see that it was recently named Best of Falls Church for Camps. That is so cool. Amazing. Mazel tov. I'm thrilled to congratulate Megan O'Brien on her new role as director. So exciting. And if you're thinking about URJ Camp Harlem, you can talk to Sam tonight after this, or one of our URJ specialty camps for sports, arts, or SciTech. I'm happy to answer questions, and also to tell you it's one of the best decisions your family can make for summer 2025. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, bring it on. As you can imagine, my life feels complete. That was fabulous. Not only do I thank you, Jay, and I also just want to mention we're going to talk about them later, that we have other camps here that many of our members go to, including Camp Zeke, Capital Camps, Arian Louise, 6 Points. We've got a lot of camps here, and all of them are valued, and we raised them all up tonight. And I know a lot of your fans are going to be coming to find you at the end of this service. We come to the last part of our service, though, which begins with Aleinu L'Shabeach, concluding prayers on page 282. Every time I go to camp, I lose my voice. So it's Camp Shabbat, so it feels appropriate. Page 282, we're inviting our 3 B'nai Mitzvah students, Juniper, Max, and Sam, to join us at the Ark. And to open the Ark, we'd like to invite Juniper's dad, Matt, and Max's mom, Sheila, to come to the Bima and open the Ark and join us. Did I miss anyone up here? Right. Who's coming up? And Emily's coming up. I'll take anybody. Ben was going to come up, but he's not coming up. But you already did candles, so you're good. Is that okay? Do you want to come? Okay. All right. We're on page 282. Won't you please rise? Okay, you guys, come on up. Will you guys open the ark? You guys take your packets. Join us right here. Stand in the middle. Open to the page of Elena. Join the cantor.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer breshit, shehu notei shamayim veyosed aretz, umoshav yitzkaro bashamayim hima'al, ushchinat uzo begohev meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You guys, would you close the doors? Please be seated. You guys, the three of you, come right here. Who's our first person? It's you. Come take the center. Okay. Step up, step up, step up. Go for it.
Page 287.
Get a little closer.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others.
Thank you.
May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair.
Ready, Sam?
Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
Great job, you guys.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We come now to a moment in our service of remembrance, a time to make some space, to think about those people in our lives whom we have loved and lost. There are a number of meditations and readings before the Kaddish that begin on page 288. They go all the way to 293, and I invite you to take some time now to find one that perhaps speaks to you, or to take a moment or two simply to think about someone in your life, or many people in your lives, whom you have loved and lost. Before we join our mourners in reciting Kaddish, it's our custom to share the names of those people who have died recently, as well as those people whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat. And if, in hearing the name of someone you're remembering, you'd like to stand, it allows us to know that you are a mourner, so we can reach out and offer a word of comfort. We begin by expressing condolences to Charla Wilkinson, who's on our staff, whose mother, Sue Potterfeld, died this week. And to these people whose family members died in the past month who are observing Shloshim. To Mitch Luxembourg and Scott on the death of Mitch's mother, Scott's grandmother, Gloria Luxembourg. To Sandy Hallmark on the death of her mother, Florence Wallach. To Ilana Apple on the death of her grandmother, Hannah Rubin. To Daniel Rabinowitz on the death of his father, and Lana Steinberg on the death of her brother, Martin Rabinowitz. And to Natasha Sackerman on the death of her father, Jim. And to these names, we add the names of people whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat every year. Philip Bauer, Nancy Carpolo, Arthur Kahn, Eugene Davidson, Donald Ice, Betsy Flesher, Oscar Fry, Samuel Gable, Esther Garfand, and Morris Gelfand. Stephen Gitchner, Miriam Godfrey, Glenn Goldstrom, Philip Gordon, Lillian Grauer, Sonia Gurian, Sedley Hall, Stephen Halpern, Leonard Hennings, Raymond Herzog, Seth Hirschhorn, Emma Isaacs, Daniel Camber, Lee Kaiser, Saul Levine, David Levine, Hirsch Levitan, David McDonald, George Mann, Dora Malka, Philip Markowitz, Timothy McDonald, Francine Milberg, Brian Murphy, Arthur Nachbar, William Newell, Aileen Olswing, Mark Peskovitz, Rudolph Pick, Eugene Pike, Doris Polikoff, Leon Rice, Doni Reich, Susan Richardson, Joseph Reiger, Louis Rosenblum, Burton Rosenberg, Nina Rosenthal, Richard Rosen, Bennett Russell, Eleanor Schmidt, Sarah Schwartz, Eva Siegel, Fred Slavsky, Ruth Smith, Jed Snyder, Alan Siegel, William Sprinkle, Rabbi Richard Sternberger, Julian Wager, Alice Worth, Stephen Winter, and Philip Zeidner. And if there is someone you'd like to add to this list, a name of someone you're remembering on the Shabbat, or if I mispronounce the name and you'd like to say it again, won't you please rise so that we know where you want to say a name. We start on this side of the room. Thank you. Thank you. We want to support all of you by standing shoulder to shoulder with you as you recite Kaddish Tome. I'd invite the congregation to please rise if you're comfortable rising and join us on page 294 in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chaye echon v'yom echon v'chaye docho V'imru Amen. Mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'rechu. Le'olam mimkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamat. Dal miram be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace and comfort, strength and love and support to all who mourn, to everyone who is grieving here and everywhere, and let us say, Amen. Won't you please be seated? We are so grateful that the chair of our camp committee, Jessica Soloway, is with us on this Shabbat. I invite her forward. And after Jessica, we're so glad that Megan O'Brien will also come forward.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the TRS Executive Board and Leadership Council, I'm honored to welcome you to worship service tonight. It's great to be together, whether you're here in person or joining us via streaming. If you're new to Temple Rodef Shalom, it would be wonderful to welcome you properly and tell you more about our community. Please feel free to approach one of our clergy or me to say hello during the Oneg Shabbat reception after the service, which we'll be having lots of fun camp activities at as well. Please see the inside of your program for a selection of our upcoming programs. Details about the TRS Engagement Expo, a conversation with Egyptian activist Dalia Zaida, and Discover Shabbat are there. Our entire program calendar and details can be found in the latest edition of The Connection and on our website. I also want to take a minute to congratulate this week's B'nai Mitzvah students, Juniper, Max, and Samantha. Congratulations to you and your families on reaching this amazing milestone. We hope to see you again here soon. Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful. It's so wonderful to see so many of you guys tonight. Thank you guys for coming. This is our Camp Shabbat. So I would be remiss if I didn't thank everyone involved with camp. So I want to thank Jessica Soloway, who's one of our co-chairs of the camp committee. And I know that I have many other camp committee members here, so if you guys could stand up, I would love to shout you guys out. I know you're out there. Thank you. Thank you guys all, and I also would like to have a big shout out for our camp staff that have stayed through 2 services. So thank you guys all for staying with us, and I hope that your campers are excited to see some of their counselors who are with us tonight. So thank you so much for that. I also wanted to announce the couple camp representatives that are here tonight. So from Camp Zeke, we have Samantha Gilbert. So thank you guys for coming. From Arian Louise, we have Jackie Steinhardt. From Camp Harlem, we have Sam Blum. From Capital Camps, we have Max Nozick. And from 6 Points, of course, we have Jay Rappaport. So thank you guys all for coming, and they will all be at their tables during the Oneg. So if you are interested in learning more about these overnight camps, and not abandoning Camp Rhoda Shalom, but just in addition to, you are more than welcome to chat with all of them. They are all excited to meet you all, and so I want to thank you all for coming to our wonderful Camp Shabbat, and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
It's our custom to invite the B'nai Mitzvah students to lead us in Kiddush, which we always do on the Bima. So as they make their way to join the cantor in this prayer, we're also, because it's camp and Camp Shabbat, there was a request to make motzi together as well, enabling you to go right into the Oneg Shabbat for lots of delicious food. And at the end, we're going to sing Jay's song one more time. So we turn to those of you who want the words to the Kiddush, it's on page 5. Won't you rise and join us in Kiddush and Motzi, a final song and a final blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon tinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'harta, ve'otanu kiddashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, v'nchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Over to you, Jay, son.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Bring us home, Jack.
I forgot to say I wore my winter camp t-shirt, my Rodef shirt, yeah. We are together, it's so nice to be together. So when we are together, it's so good. Everybody sing, we are together, it's so nice to be together. So when we are together, it's so good. Hine matov, hine matov, hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim, shevet achim gam yachad. Everybody. Hine matov u'manayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Let's sway. That really feels like camp. I clap my hands, I clap my hands. I move my soul, I move my soul. I clap my hands, I clap my hands. I move my soul. We are together. We are together. It's so nice to be together. 'Cause when we are together, it's so good. Big finish. We are together. It's so nice. 'Cause when we are together, it's so.
Thank you all for joining us in this joyful Shabbat service honoring God.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Oh, I can't believe that.